We still have the hashtag Bring Back Our Tardy Girls, and we're increasing the pressure and advocacy on all security authorities in our country and also the state authorities to make sure that those 3 girls officially that the police say they have in their records to have been kidnapped are brought back to their families. But more so, what actions have been taken not only by the police but other parastatals to ensure that well, we get the right things done in this regard. And Kojo Yankson is live in Takrady. He'll be joining us later. We'll be discussing all that, but it looks like it seemed to have caught on. It's dominating some of the front pages this morning. Achina Brentio is here. Good morning to you, Achina.
Good morning, Ro. How are you?
Yay. Yay. Yay.
How much one again?
If you want more. Anyway, how was your morning?
Great.
Great.
Always.
Great. Yeah, it's always great.
I get a feeling that there's going to be a break today concerning the kidnapped girls.
Wow.
God is still in the miracle business. I know Christians are praying as well as other people of faith. And I do believe that wherever the kidnappers are, God will smoke them from their tunnels and we shall see results. I don't believe that crime should prosper. I don't believe it.
Which church do you attend?
I'm a member of the Church of Pentecost.
Are you an elder or?
I'm a deacon of the church.
That's why.
Deacons are servants.
God is still in the miracle business.
Yes.
Whilst we wait for miracles, the police need to do their work for the miracles to manifest.
Exactly.
I mean, that's the most important thing, right?
I do believe that.
Okay. Can you start something for us? Where are you starting?
I have the Ghanaian Times, most authoritative newspaper, and it leads with the issue of the National Cathedral. So it says, Supreme Court rules out writ against construction of National Cathedral. Now, VIP off to Davos to attend 2019 World Economic Forum annual meeting. We also have a picture of our president and the U.S. envoy. President receives credential letters of 4 envoys. Then we also have 13 parish, sad story, 13 parish in Galamsey Pit at Bani in the Upper East region. Back page, 1 million farmers to benefit from planting for food and jobs this year. That's a very healthy story. Then we have Kolebu inaugurates new diagnostics machine or diagnosis machine. So that's for the Ghanaian Times.
Yeah, that's a good one there. Now let's go to the Daily Graphic. The Daily Graphic has on the front page what we've been advocating for. So let me just start this. You know, we started all this, and so we have to take credit before it goes downstream. So please make sure that you keep the advocacy ongoing. Bring back our tardy girls. I'm talking about the tardy girls. The pictures on the front page of the Daily Graphic. So we have captured. Police seek help of Interpol to arrest kidnappers. Child Rights International also calls for military support. Apocryphal. It looks like without the military, sometimes we can't do many other things. Anyway, so we have other complementary stories also on the front page. Chinese control fishing trawlers in Ghana. Story is on page 16 of the paper. But Northern region, all is set for yarners and skinmen tomorrow. That's good news for the people of Dagbang. For all those who are Dagbanis, I say that December. Good morning to all of you. I hope that you're all enjoying some good times as well. National Cathedral Hajj Board do not breach Constitution. And we know that that's the outcome of the story also dominating the front page of the Ghanaian Times about the National Cathedral. Back page of the Daily Graphic. 12 miners suffocate in tunnel at Gbani. And Albert Sore is on the beat. I'll speak to him as well this morning to get the latest as far as this is related. But the last story we'll look at, which is featured on the back page of the Daily Graphic, ECG, Electricity Company of Ghana, rakes in over 21.5 million Ghana cedis from illegal power connections. When the power cuts continue, that's a concern for all of us residents who tend to use electricity. So then we keep asking, why don't they come to give us back page stories and say that, well, for the power cuts, this is what we're doing about it. But it's a good thing by the management of ECG. What do we have?
Okay, we have the Daily Guide. Ghana hungry join forces. Okay. Cathedral case dismissed. Then kidnappers grab cash from victims. This is a very chilling story. Now, MPP holds vigil for Ejako. Then the back page, we have Navrongo contractor on point, sports minister. Ash Gold supporters threaten demo over Kotoko's raid. Okay. Then Kotoko need a top striker. Then the last story, NSA salutes Kotoko. So that's all for the daily guide.
We have the Daily Dispatch newspaper has on the front page, U.S. ambassador or new U.S. ambassador present credentials to president. You have a picture there. Nice. Let me just get her name since she's fresh on the bill. We have the new U.S. ambassador to Ghana in the name of Stephanie S. Sullivan. Typical American name.
Yeah.
Stephanie S. Sullivan. All right, so we have the main story on the front page of the Daily Dispatch. Flag bearer balloting completed. Who wins on February 23? And let me tell you the positions they occupy. John Dramani Mahama, number 3. Joshua Alabi, 7. Sylvester Mensah, 4. Alban Gbagbin, 1. Spio Gabra, 5. Guzitano, 6. The battle is on. There's the last one though, whose picture has been, I don't know why the Daily Dispatch, I don't know whether this is mischief or just having an economy with the way they have to create or not create space for the pictures. So you have Nuruddin Idrisu, whose picture has been miniatured small there. Nuruddin Idrisu too. Okay, so the Daily Dispatch is also saying you can now log on to www.thedailydispatchgh.com to get more news. 2012 election, Afarijan praises Atuguba and Doche, justices of the Supreme Court. And we know that the election petition of 2013 were one of the main players in that case. But the last story, economic activities in La Medina, Ketu South, New Jobing and Brekum. All these statistics and related variables being brought to you from there. Okay.
I have the finder.
Yes, please.
400 million subsidy for 1 million farmers. 400 million Ghana cedi subsidy for 1 million farmers under the 2019 Planting for Food program. This is about thrice what was given previously. Then keep close eye on debt stock. Keep close eye on debt stock. Then I think they have a summary of the market. Fiscal deficit is now 8.5% of GDP. Inflation is 8%. Gross international reserves, that's 3 months of import cover. Okay, so that's all for the business finder.
We have the last one, a custodian.
Okay.
It's edited by my good friend, Awudu. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Awudu. The custodian. Elites with the case of the Supreme Court. Supreme Court throws out anti-Cathedral suit. Wow. Then kidnap lured 3 Takoradi girls with jobs and phone. Then MPP holds vigil for Ejako today. May his soul rest in the perfect of peace. Then NEIP CEO woos Indian government and firms. 6 miners killed in Talensi explosion. Then enigmatic Kevin Prince Boateng gets a shot on the final ground stage. The rest are funeral announcements. When they pay, we'll do it here.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so we have to have a pick or two.
Okay.
Which one?
I'm in love with the Cathedral.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. As a deacon of the Pentecost Church.
You know,
as a deacon of the Pentecost Church, you have no choice.
It's not about not having any choice. I have personally had concerns about how people tend to look at issues of religion. They tend to think that issues of religion are matters of private concern. So when we have a national platform like this, put your religion in your pocket. Let's talk law. I disagree. And I think yesterday the Supreme Court's ruling clearly puts to rest any
misgivings.
Not just the misgiving, any doubts that religion should be considered as any doubt that religion should be considered as something of private concern. Now, per the ruling of the Supreme Court, that the Constitution of Ghana is not against religion, and that government does not flout any rules when it plays key role in religion, it reinforces what I already know. It reinforces the fact that religion is a legal aspect of our life. It's not something which is abnormal, or which is, as it were, acrimonious with our constitutional governance at all per this ruling. So we can come here and talk religion and talk law, and will not be frowning anything. Now, the point I want all of us to take note is that Ghana is a democracy. In democracy, you have what we call majoritarian rule. Christianity, or if you like, the people of faith, belong to the majority in terms of constituency. So if we make a decision and we tilt towards people of faith, we've not erred in law. Because if we voted anywhere else, the decision is going to be based on the people who are in the majority. If you look at it also from the other point, it means that the people in the majority contribute more in terms of taxes, in terms of workforce, in terms of intelligence, and also in terms of infrastructure, because they are also in the majority. So what offense has anybody committed if you give back to the people who contributed the most? Roland, take for example the North, and the fight between the Abudus and the Andani. For the last 17 years, government has been sinking a lot of resources to that particular place. Nobody complains because it's a need for the people there. So if all the contributions of the Christian community over the years, all they ask for is one church, which is not going to serve just me, but generations, years or more. One church. For the number of schools that Christians have built, for the many hospitals that Christians have built, for the many, the Peace Council and the knowledge that we tap from them and all that they do, one church, we have a problem with it. Let me simply ask you, Ro, if we have not built a cathedral, has that removed our poverty? At least for the people who say that we have a much more priority to a cathedral. Over the years, we've not built a cathedral, but we are still poor. I'm not proud to say it, but we are, over the years. Now, assuming we don't build a cathedral, will the money for the cathedral be used to solve these problems we have been dealt with? It will not. You know why? Government will continue to buy it V8. Parliamentarians will continue to take their
but that should not continue to be the status quo.
No, but the point I'm making is that we should look at the effect of the opposition. If we build it, if we don't build it, it's still not going to change anything. That is the point I'm so making. And if you understand Christianity, I will end on this point. If you understand Christianity very well, then you will not make the argument that issues about bread and butter supersedes the God we serve. Because in Matthew 6, verse 33, it says, we should seek first the kingdom of God before all other things. If you read the book of Haggai, just the chapter 1, the Lord himself was complaining that the people have built houses for themselves, they've bought estates for themselves, and his house lies in ruins. Maybe, just maybe, the many challenges and the myriad of problems we are facing as a nation, kidnapping, gangster shooting, poverty, maybe, just maybe, we have abandoned the place. We have abandoned the place of God for other things.
What they can actually bring you.
I
don't think that for those who went to court arguing,
yes,
the argument was that the cathedral was not important.
No. Yeah. My argument is not against them. Okay. I think they have even done as good by letting the Supreme Court now.
What the Supreme Court, I believe, has done is to affirm and assert that religion is a critical fiber in our moral constitution as a country, in the way we develop, and how we also hold key or integral the things that matter to us at heart. And the Supreme Court has only just stated that the things that bind us together are all the forms of religion that we have.
Exactly.
And so if we have Hajj being organized for Muslims each year, and there's a contribution, a sponsorship from government, it's in order. That's what the Supreme Court is saying.
Exactly.
And so if a replica or some other, maybe widow's mite is also extended to the Christian faith, it's also in order.
Exactly.
But then also, I guess the question is always going to remain. We need to prioritize what is more important and what is not.
Exactly.
And so, by the Supreme Court's own decision, it's saying that religion is very important.
Exactly.
So we'll take it as it is. For me, I right now the Supreme Court has spoken. So it's a finality to all the arguments that had been raised prior to the case being sent to court. So
it will settle it.
Well,
and I think that sometimes, let's face it, religion has been in an antagonistic posture against itself. You may have in history either Muslims or Christians fighting one another. And these wars are not direct. Sometimes it's prosy. We hide behind certain things to wage successful wars. So if other bodies have received support from government over the years, and all of a sudden arguments are popping up about we need to do this, we need to do that. I don't know whether it is just a question of just the interest they are espousing, or is this prosy war that has always existed between? No, I don't know if you get what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I do perfectly.
We need to
I do
look at it.
perfectly.
Okay, which issue will you be keen on?
Yes, I wanted to speak on the flag bearership race of the NDC.
That's okay.
And of course, yesterday, I was just monitoring many of the discussion platforms and also on social media, especially on Facebook, and the comments about the refrain that John Mahama has picked the third
Number
position
3.
running.
Okay.
And there were some permutations that it also connected, is it the John 3:16, and then some other related issues of the Trinity and all that. But the thing is, it also means that the political season is just nigher than we think.
Exactly.
It's 2019, and somebody was just reminding me after I had read some of the comments on Facebook while talking to him while on my way home that, next year is the election. I said, it looks like I was still living in 2018.
Yeah.
And so it means that we're going to see a lot of political activity and also actions from the political parties, etc.
Exactly.
We should make this year and next year a bit different from what we've seen in the past. We should have more decorum in the way political parties tend to conduct the actions and the activities when they are having a run for the next elections in the Fourth Republic, as we've seen since 1993. We should also make sure that we tend to have good relations with the media, because many of the times the political parties seem to think that the media is antagonistic towards them. But having a good relationship also make sure that the points that you want to raise, the messages that you want to communicate or disseminate, is always going to get to the right people at the right time.
That's true.
And if anything untoward happens, looking at what has transpired so far with vigilante groups on both fronts of the MPP and NDC, then they also should be ready to take the responsibility of the actions or inactions of some of these groupings.
That's so much true, because at the end of the day, there is one purpose for political parties, that is to be at the helm of leadership, and through effective leadership make sure that the lots of the people are better than they met it. So really, if for my betterment you come to lead and I'm worse off in terms of the process of becoming my leader, i.e. violence, militancy, and vulgar language on our news networks. And let me say this, that politics should be done with a certain class. You know, if you look at media platforms and media firms, you realize that the multimedia works with class. Though all other stands are media platforms. We need to get to a point where our politics is beautiful. Most of us will keep vigil just to listen to what is happening in the US elections. The speeches that come out will inspire you. Even the way the supporters hail their leaders and the way the leaders themselves organize themselves. It looks beautiful. You can actually pay money at the gate just to become a spectator to it. We should get to that point, because really that is what politics is all about. On the issue proper, I should congratulate the NDC. I have a lot of good friends there for doing this without any rancor or without any form of acrimony. We started getting rumors that somebody had been disqualified, and I was saying, wow, how? Because then you had just gone to court and taken the case home to settle it peacefully. So finally, when it came and we realized that all 7 of them have been passed out, I said, okay, maybe they've learned their lessons. But on the NDC politics, I just simply want to say that Ghana needs an alternative, but not just any alternative. The NDC should not get preoccupied with process. The NDC should quickly position itself as an alternative government. If all you seem to be busy with is John 3:16, if all you seem to be busy with is what your founder has said, if all you seem to be busy with is minor issues, whilst a lot of things are going on, people are dead, 13 of them in a pit. Just today's papers. 3 ladies have been kidnapped for days now.
For weeks, if not
for
months.
Weeks.
The first one, per the records, August 2018.
Yes. Odonna pedestrian market is been in flames. And Arimiao Anas, his colleague,
his colleague has been murdered.
Tema, what do you call it? Miss Asante of the GPHA PRO is also still in the fridge. We can spend the whole day talking about what is not going right in this country. It's not enough that you call one press conference, then you list all this issue as your contribution.
So all you're saying is that the way we do politics in our country is
No, that's not all I'm saying. All I'm saying is that the country needs a leader who is positioned to deal with this thing. We have only MPP and NDC. The rest, they are not to the tune to be able to take on power. So if this is what we are having under the present regime, then you will imagine that the alternative should be a real alternative that can do better. But I don't see that from the way they are posturing. I see them preoccupied with small things, which really doesn't present an alternative that when we come in terms of the police, we will put A, B, C, D in place. And within this minute, this and that will be done. It's not enough to say that the government has failed, the government has failed.
I will tell you, it's too early to be doing that.
Oh, wow.
Otherwise, the government of the day will
whilst people perish, while people die. Bro, it's not funny. If you go to Circle, we are closer to Circle, go to Circle, and just from the odorized area, young men and women with energy engage in petty thievery. People who just want to do small things just to steal.
Okay,
so that's it.
You know, Roxy Nelson Dapamakbo is a member of parliament for South Dine.
Okay.
Just let Achina bring to you understand that no one is against the building of the cathedral. It is the location of the cathedral that gives many of us grave concern. Why pull down choice but scarce state accommodation for this cathedral? The government could have gone and acquired land near Dodowa and build this cathedral. That's fine by me. But do so by pulling down state bungalows.
Roxanne, I agree with you perfectly on this. Fantastic. I didn't speak about the process, but I agree with you that the process is.
You are saying that you're not against the cathedral, and you're also for the pulling down of the bungalows.
No, that's mischief. But what I'm saying is that
it's not mischief.
I'm sorry if it's too harsh, but what I'm saying is that
it's not mischief. No, it's not harsh.
What I'm saying is that the process of getting a cathedral is also very important. It's not the same as the cathedral is important. So I agree with Roxanne that we need to build the cathedral at a place where people will not be affected.
Very well.
Yes.
Very well. All right. Very well. Meanwhile, the hashtag is still on. Today we told you we're bringing you the story so far. We're beginning and recounting and bringing you up to date with the latest. Kojo Yankson is live in Takrady, but also sent through some credible as well as some important inserts and some interactions with the families of the victims, the friends, and also the latest from the Ghana Police Service. He will be live streaming in, and you know he's been doing some good work, fantastic work over the last 48 hours, if not more. And we want to keep him there for some time. But many of the things always need to be put at the front burner. And we hope that the police, who so far convened a press conference yesterday, would also be giving us the latest update as and when we need it. But there's been a mining incident and you wanted to talk about it.
Tell Kojo and Mamavi that we've missed them.
Okay, Kojo and Mamavi, we miss you.
Yes, it's a sad story. If you look at the
and this incident happened in Bane in the Upper East region.
Yes, I think close to the Shanzi mining firm. It's a sad story, especially when the reports we are getting are very conflicting. Some say graphic put it at 12. Elsewhere, we have it as 13. Yes, the Ghanaian Times say 13. Other papers are reporting 4 and a whole lot. That is sad in itself. I think that something as important as this, we should know what has happened. I don't know whether national security has duly been briefed so that they can also put forward the information that is required. If you read the statement of today that I've gotten the opportunity to see excerpts of, they are completely blaming the mining firm. That's the Shanzi mining firm. It apparently looks like that's not the first time that that particular incident has occurred. Actually, there was a case in court against them, but another registered mining firm about their mining practices. How can you blow people underpaid? About 50 of them, we are told, underpaid. Then you engage in this particular kind of blasting. That seems to me insensitive. So it is good that the Minerals and Mining Commission, it's calling for a halt on their activities and trying to set up immediate investigation to unravel all the circumstance under which that this particular event happened. And let us not be quick to judge the miners simply because we have termed them galamseyers. What I'm getting from the Small Scale Miners Association is that they are putting this particular category of miners into small scale miners. They are not illegal miners. So let's hope that the investigation turn out to be so. In that case, then we really need to look at mining activities in our country. Well, what much are we getting from it by way of return for us to be losing a lot of precious lives like that? It doesn't add up.
Yeah, the thing is that so far government has done well. We have a committee that's available, a secretariat that did the streamlining, and now we have a whole policy guideline, etc. Yeah. But it looks like it has to be holistic to cover the whole of the country. Yeah. I believe it looks like the focus was on the more endemic areas, and now it looks like some areas seem to have been maybe just covered under
brought
the radar
under scope,
so we need to just scope it or zone in very well. But we have Albert Sorry. Albert Sorry, our Upper East regional correspondent, will be bringing to us the latest on this, and he's joining us on the lines. Good morning to you, Albert Sorry.
Good morning, Roland.
What's the condition of the rest of the miners currently, and what's the latest that you can tell us relating to how activities so far have been at the front?
Yes, so the latest is that we picked information this morning that the death toll had risen to 16. I've just been trying to confirm that with the police. The regional crime officer who has been investigating this, I was on the phone with him a while ago. He says that for now he cannot categorically confirm the 16. But as at 8:30 p.m. yesterday, the number was 14. So we reported 13 the last time we were talking about this story. So the 16 he cannot confirm, but what the number he can confirm as far as the death toll is concerned is 14. Now, there are still some at the hospital. A lot of them yesterday were not even in good shape to be able to grant interviews. There was just one person who was well enough to speak, and for him, he was able to get out of the pit before the blast happened. But he, from what he told us, he was only advised to come to the hospital because he could have somehow still inhaled smoke, and there was no need for him to take chances. So those of them who are still in hospital, yesterday the medical director at the Bolgatanga Hospital told us they were stable, and that oxygen there was enough oxygen for all of them. But now we are learning that one more person has died. It still means, or it could still mean, that the rest of them on admission may not be exactly out of the woods yet.
Well, according to the report you're giving us, Shanji Mining has had its operations halted.
Yes, that's from the Minerals Commission. This same thing happened 2 years ago. In 2017, there was a similar blast where about 7 miners died, and their operations were stopped by the Lands and Natural Resources Ministry because they needed to investigate. The then Lands and Natural Resources Minister, John Peter Mewu, visited the area, and he spoke to, he visited the local miners. He also visited Shanji Mining to try and ascertain exactly what is going on there. Now, after his visit, he did say that he realized that Shanji were doing good work. They had employed a lot of people. But the problem really there is that the local miners also have their own pits around the area. And because of the underground tunnels that they have, it seems difficult for one particular miner working somewhere to know that there is another miner underground somewhere. So usually that is what happens when the blast occurs, because one person can blast, and then it happens that there is somebody underground somewhere who gets trapped by the smoke. In fact, on that day, when he finished his visit, he told us that they realized that there are even some Galamsey miners who have pits dug in their rooms that they could easily access underground tunnels to. So this is the problem. Shanji Mining, from what we are told, is a Chinese mine providing mine support services to 2 local miners who have licensed concessions in the area. And so when these things happen, it's usually the word of Shanji Mining against what the local miners say, because the local miners seem to think that anytime they go underground and they are working, because Shanji Mining doesn't want them working there, they deliberately blast to trap them. Usually this is what they try to put across. And these are allegations that Shanji Mining has always denied. But in this particular case, one survivor I spoke to yesterday at the hospital said that a security guard had been sent from Shanji Mining to warn them that there was going to be a blast. But according to him, that particular point where they were mining is a place that usually doesn't get affected when there is a blast. So a lot of them ignored the warning, and they still stayed underground because they thought the blast would not get to them.
Right.
But it turned out that the blast was, bigger than they anticipated it, and that is how come they got trapped underground. The mine did not collapse, but there was a lot of smoke from what he said, and a lot of them started suffocating, and as they tried to run out, some collapsed on the way, and there was some sort of stampede underground.
All right. So you're saying that the deaths necessarily are not directly as a result of the blast, but rather because of the suffocation from the smoke that had bellowed out of the blast, so to speak. Is that the case?
Yeah, this is what the survivor we spoke to said.
No. You went there. What did you see?
Sorry?
You went there. So what did you see? Not what the miners also told you, but based on because the blasts and the distance between where the local miners were or the Galamsey operators were, and then also where the blast took place for Shanji Mining, was it far enough for anybody not to be worried? Now, 2, you're saying that they were warned. 3, is that part of the standard operating procedure of the mine?
Well, this is for now. The place was a sort of crime area that the police were investigating. So we haven't been given access to it because of that. Plus, it happened underground, so it's really difficult. Unless you are able to go underground, it's really difficult for me to be able to tell where these miners were and where the blast took place. That is why we are actually hoping that when we speak to the police later today, they will be able to explain to us, according to what their investigations have revealed, exactly how this happened. But I was only narrating to you what one of the survivors who was underground at the time of the incident was able to, tell us.
All right. And we'll call you again before the close of the edition of the AM show. And subsequently, of course, we know that you bring into us the latest briefings. But that's Albert Sorry, Upper East Regional Correspondent. Let's had an incident there. Yeah. We'll say it is unfortunate, but knowing that it happened before in 2017, I guess a caution should have been taken, right? Whether it's the ministry, the minerals commissioner, etc. To make sure the right things are done.
That does it, because you ask for business person, especially the Chinese, not because I have anything against the Chinese, but they seem to be very notorious for even illegal mining. We've had a lot of cases where the Chinese themselves, you find them with arms around the Dunkwao, that part of town. So if now they've gotten a license to now do mining proper, I think they may do it without a lot of sympathy. And it's about time that we don't just allow people to operate, but people tax with responsibility to operate, do what they are paid to do.
Wow.
It's too late that the Mineral Commission is now coming to shut them down.
Yeah.
They can't bring back the dead.
Okay. Let's quickly just go through myjoyonline.com and then we can wrap up for sports. The sports team will bring us the latest sports headlines. So on myjoyonline.com, you can also watch us live. And again, we're still on with hashtag bring back our tardy girls, and it's all in the bit increasing the advocacy and the pressure on state authorities to improve the state of investigation so far, to bring the 3 girls who have been kidnapped. And we're told that the first was first reported back in August 2018 to their families. Already Kojo Yankson doing good work in Takrady had been speaking to the families of the victims, their friends, and looking at the related issues. And the police also had been doing some briefings for journalists. That took place on Wednesday. So we'll bring you the latest as far as that is related. Just in case you have some information that you want to share with the police, please make sure that you call 191 if you have that sort of information. Will help with investigations. We are supposed to cooperate with the police. They are not our enemy. I mean, so that we have to put all that into perspective, and that's why we're doing this advocacy as well. Sure. All right, so let's go through myjoyonline.com. We have Ghana Police. Okay, we have updates. Death toll in Shanji mining explosion hit 16. Albert Sorry just confirmed that to us. Amidus caused secures court order to get Mahama Ayariga's call record from MTN. Former YEA deputy coordinator arrested by BNI, and just reading the news over the last 12 hours, Alhaji Tapso, Alhassan Tapsoba, good morning to you, I don't know, a good friend of mine too. Police special units deployed to clamp down on wave of crimes. And then we also have counterfeit pharmaceuticals stifling Africa's development, according to a report. It's been titled The Rise of Counterfeits. Ghana Police, an opportunity to retool, trigger reform. I hope that we'll do that. Kidnap girls. Don't expect it to be fast-tracked. Police plead as pressure mounts. Yeah, the police need time. Because what the police didn't do is just give us the daily update or the frequent update as is needed, so that people are just not kept in the dark. Data collection, a catalyst for tourism growth in Africa. myjoyonline.com is what we just brought to you. Achana, thank you very much.
You're always welcome,
all right,
bro.
So go back to work, right? The work is still ongoing. And we have to bring you the latest sports headlines.